This is the Professor Nick Show. Welcome. I'm joined by a very special guest, Tim Turner.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. How you doing,
Good.
Professor Nick?
How are you?
All right.
Tim plays on the basketball team here at Ventura College. We're shooting at Ventura College.
Mm-hmm.
On the first day of class, or maybe the second day of class, we started talking basketball a little bit because I'm a big fan too, and I asked him who his team was.
Mm-hmm.
And his response shocked me a little bit. He said, I'm more of a Kevin Durant fan, and Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah, yes, a Kevin Durant fan, yes.
And not so much a fan of a team, which kind of surprised me. And I think that's kind of trending as generations turn. And so I invited him here so we can talk a little bit about fandom.
Yeah.
So why are you a KD fan? I am too, by the way. But why are you a KD fan?
I mean, I know a lot of people like Kevin Durant, but it's like for serious reasons, you know what I'm saying? I've been watching him since he was at Texas, and I just like everything about him. I like what he do in his community, how he go back and, you know what I'm saying, give back. I like that about athletes nowadays, you know, and that's what I really think that it's about, you know what I'm saying, getting out and giving back to the community, to those who didn't have a basketball for Christmas and who didn't have a book bag or who didn't have a lunchbox, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that. And to see that he's really like a big guy from where he's from is like nice to me. And watching him play is very exciting. So like I became following this dude for a long time, like just watching him, you know what I'm saying? And even when he got hurt last year, I knew that he was still trying. Like he didn't give up. Like one leg and all, he still wanted to play. He wanted to compete. And that's like kind of how I am. I will play basketball until I can't run no more. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of how I fell in love with Kevin Durant. I really want to meet the dude. Like one time he came to Chicago and I was at a AAU tournament, which is like summer basketball, and he gave out a bunch of shoes. You know what I'm saying? That Nike pulled up, and they just basically gave out a bunch of shoes, like all Kevin Durant's to all the teams, all the players who was there. It was at the Navy Pier. I was at the Nike tournament with Kevin Durant, so. Yeah, I didn't get to meet him because I was locked in with playing, but, you know, I got the shoes, and I still got them to this day.
Cool. Cool. That's great. Yeah, I admire all those things about him. I like his work ethic.
Yeah.
I saw him go down too, and he should have been out for the
Yeah.
the end of the playoffs, but he came back
Yeah.
and he got injured again. But I didn't watch him at Texas, but he came in. I think he spent that first year in Seattle before they moved to OKC. And I remember thinking, wait, this guy's 7 feet?
Yeah.
He can play like Kobe?
Guard,
like,
yeah,
come
and
on,
he can play
man.
like a guard. You don't get that too much
No.
often. You don't see that too much often. You just don't.
Yeah. So I've been following him. I've been liking him as well. Those early couple of years in OKC with him and Westbrook and Harden when he was coming off as the sixth man, I was a huge fan of those teams.
Yeah.
So then, from a fandom standpoint, you like KD. So then, does that mean when he was on OKC, you were rooting for OKC? When he was on the Warriors, you were rooting for the Warriors, and then now that he's in Brooklyn, you're rooting for Brooklyn, or is it more of a personal? Explain to me.
Okay, look, well, the team thing is basically like, I don't know, it's broken down to so many ways, and different people have their opinion on the NBA. I look at the NBA as like player, you know what I'm saying, attributes and what I could take from it as in to help me. So when I watch him, I watch that he's a bigger guy and he can handle the ball real well and he can shoot it. And he plays defense. He's versatile, you know what I'm saying? And that's everything you want in a player. He plays hard. He give you everything he got, and he don't, you know what I'm saying? He's not a bad teammate.
Yeah.
And when he got hurt, like I was saying, like that basically showed me all his character, because he knew, if don't nobody know when you hurt, you know that you can't do something. And he knew that he wasn't 100% and he still tried. That's the only thing that, and that revolves around the team thing of what I was saying. Like, how many of those guys did that when they was hurt? We got Curry sitting down and this and that and this and that for a sprained wrist and this and that. Like, basketball has gotten soft and like over the years, but I like back then basketball when it was tough. Like, it was physical. You could really play basketball, but now it's just more of a who could entertain you the most, and this and that's not really basketball no more. It's just about basically like who can give people what they want to see, and that's not basketball. That's not what basketball is. That's not how I grew up playing basketball. So I don't play basketball like that. Like I play with pride, my heart, and I give it my all, 110%. Like I don't go halfway. I don't do nothing. I'm all in with basketball every time, and with school too. It's just like everything. I connect everything together. That's probably why I made it this far. You know what I'm saying? Because basketball has led me up to this point. But back to the NBA and the team thing, Professor Nick. I basically don't like a team because organizations, like I said, have their own opinion on like what people should do, what roles they should play, and this and that and this and that. Like, for example, James Ennis on the 76ers.
Okay.
He's playing very well.
Yeah.
And he's fighting for minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe in my heart, and I'm not just saying this because I know him. I do know him, but I believe in my heart that he should be a starter on somebody's team.
Sure.
Because he has shown over the years of me watching him play, even on highlights when he was on Miami, the Grizzlies, he had been a solid dude. And that's what Kevin Durant is. Kevin Durant is a solid dude. And for me to not like a team, it comes with a lot. Like, I don't like the Brooklyn Nets because Kyrie and Kevin Durant are over there. No, I like Kevin Durant and Kyrie. I don't like the team, the organization, and nothing like that. I just like those specific players because they affect the game in so many ways. And there's so many of my generation that watch these dudes, you know what I'm saying, that buy these dudes shoes and this and that and this and that. So it's just a bigger picture for me. Like, I look at the bright side of things. Like, okay, if I go to a Foot Locker store and I see Kevin Durant and LeBron and this and that and this and that, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant because this is the guy that I believe that is my role model. Like, I've watched him night in, night out, Christmas games, this and that. That's the only guy that I like to see, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no team thing for me. I just wanted to lock in with Kevin Durant because I liked the person that he was growing up, watching him play college ball. Even though I was young, I was really young, but I watched college ball all my life because I feel like college basketball is really, really better than the NBA. That's to me. Because in college, you have to play basketball. Like, you have to play defense. You have to make shots. You have to write. And in the NBA, it's just vice versa. You can sag off on D. That's because you made it already. You know what I'm saying? People don't play with the same chip that they had in college. So that's why March Madness and times like that are just much more popular and outstanding to people because it's like these guys and these organizations, like my favorite college is Duke because that's a team, that's a program. But when you get to like NBA standpoint, you see that these guys are just here, like stars, you know what I'm saying, superstars of the NBA, all-stars, or whatever you want to call them. These guys are just here, they're working, you know what I'm saying, they're coming to do their job. But I feel like that a lot of the guys that have made it don't play basketball no more as well as they used to when they was in college. Like, they don't have nothing to play for no more.
The drive, they already signed the big paycheck.
Yeah, right. You already gave them everything it is. But with me, once I make it to my max level, I'm not going to stop. Like, I'm not going to change my game. I'm not going to take a step off. I'm going to work hard every day. And that's just how I am. I just like basketball. Like, I just believe that the brand is changing. But I'm going to be the one who put the mark back on it. I just feel like it. I feel like it every day. Like, I'm going to be the key to changing basketball to how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you'll see a kid's highlight tape and you'll see him just scoring the ball. You're going to see me play defense. Like, I know in my highlight tape, you're going to see me playing defense because that's what I take pride in. Like, I'm not saying that I'm the best defender in the world, but I know that I take pride in basketball and I'm not just going to let someone score on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would expect that from my opponent. You don't want me to just score on you, so you better play. You got to come to play.
Sure. I will say, so I want to get to another point, but before I do, I was at your game on Saturday. I was in the stands, like, grading papers on my computer.
Yeah, I see you. Always busy.
There was one moment where I think you got your pocket picked, or I don't know what happened, but the guy on the other team was running down, and you chased him down, and you blocked. That was a LeBron-esque chase down block, and you were sky high. I was like, that is epitome of what you're talking about, playing that defense, never giving up. You know what happens in basketball and in life? Man, you make mistakes. You give the ball up. You can't be perfect every time, but what happens when you give it up? Do you sulk? Do you complain? You didn't get a call? Whatever. No, you hustle back and you make that play.
Turn the page on it. And that's another thing. Like, I want to thank my coaches, my coaches that got me here. Like, those guys aren't the best, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that they're perfect, but we like a family, you know. And he lives with my mistakes. I'm getting better every day. Everybody should, you know what I'm saying? If you take me out the game, then now you got feelings involved and this and that about me not getting a chance to get it back. But it's so many situations that any other ball player could have done. I could have stood there, yelled at the ref, did this,
Thrown
did
up your
that.
arms.
Yeah, like what was that and this and that. But instead, I just chose to play hard. Like that's the way that I want my name to be remembered when people say me. I don't want to be known as the guy who can score this and that. And I just want to be known for playing the hard and playing the right way. That's it.
Cool.
I don't care about scoring points. Like I had 8 on Saturday. I don't care. That was a good 8 point for me. I took charges. I got steals. I had rebounds. I was in double figures in rebounds, and they had 2, 6, 8 dudes on their team. Like I felt good about the game. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Right now, I'm just basically getting my team to a ref form, basically, so we can have a shot at the state championship.
I'm really excited for the official season to start. The games coincide pretty well with me and my classes ending, so I envision being over there, and there's another guy on campus that I like to watch games with. But let me go back to this. So I'm going to throw out a theory, and you can completely call me wrong and absurd, but I want to ask you this anyways. You're from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Yeah.
Okay. The 90s belong to Chicago and MJ.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there. I want to ask. What if you were my age? What if you were 40 and at the time when you were this age, or at the time when you were a teenager, you were watching Michael Jordan in Chicago win 3-peat and then 3-peat? Do you think you'd be more loyal to the Bulls as a brand, or I mean, let's be honest, aside from one Derrick Rose season there, right? The Bulls have been pretty bad for a while, pretty much for your life. Do you think there's a chance that you might be a little bit more loyal to the Bulls if you experienced a different era when they were dominant? Because, and I'll explain to you why I think that, but I want to hear your opinion on that first.
Well, I'm going to start out by saying that I'm from Chicago and I love the Bulls. Like, no matter what they go through. I like the Bears, too. Like, no matter what they go to. The Bears, yeah. We all know that the Chicago has not been the best team. But what I also know is Chicago has talent that has ran through the city. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't capitalized on it at all. Like now, with a lot of the kids that I graduated high school with, they are committing to the universities in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they need. Like, I find that positive because if you got kids that's there, because everybody knows Chicago basketball is big. So if you got kids that's there that's locked in, you know what I'm saying, and doing very well at basketball and excelling in school, you have to give these kids a shot. Like, even though I was overlooked in high school, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I was the best kid, but I had talent to play basketball, and I'm not going to say that I can't play on a 4-year level, but after I graduated high school, I wasn't ready for a university. So I met Coach Neal, and Coach Neal just made me see the bigger picture and everything. So I thank him every day, you know what I'm saying? And back to the Bulls and the Chicago Bears thing is, when you growing up in Chicago, that's all you know. You're a diehard fan for your team, but you know that they going through stuff. That's just like with any other state team, like the Lakers at the beginning of the season. It wasn't good. Now they're 12-2 and 13-3 or whatever they is. They're doing fine now. So it's just how you handle adversity. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, been dealing with adversity for a long time, not being able to keep players, you know what I'm saying, not being able to take care of the hometown people. Like for example, Dwayne Wade last season when he went to play in Chicago. I think that's the biggest thing that could have ever happened in his career.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, he has 3 championships, but going back home to play basketball is something that's really nice. Like, I couldn't imagine it. Growing up in Chicago, I always used to tell my dad when I used to play 2K, I would put my creative player on the Chicago Bulls every time. I'll go against the whole NBA. And I told him this has to be me one day. The Bulls have to give me a contract one day. They have to.
I'm rooting for you, man.
I just said that they have to give me a shot one day.
Okay.
And I had played at the United Center before, like AAU and all this and that. So it was kind of a nice experience. You see a lot of things in Chicago. You know, it's tough, but like you said, the teams are going through what they're going through, and it's something that we all are praying to change.
Well, so here's my example with that. I mean, I was really young. I was born in 79, which was the year that Magic was drafted and won that first championship. And I mean, he was a baby, and I wasn't even born, or I had just been born. And I remember And then the entire, 80s decade, it was the Bird and Magic era, and it was back and forth. And, basketball lived in LA and it lived in Boston, and this great heated rivalry. And so that was my youth, right? Fast forward a decade later, Shaq comes, Kobe gets drafted or moves to LA, and then we get 3 of those. Yeah. And then later than that, right, we get the Powell and Kobe and Lamar Odom and Bynum era. And so for me in LA, my dad taught me this, and I don't know if it was explicitly told to me, but you inherit the team that you're going to root for your life, and you don't get to abandon that.
You don't.
I have friends that when the Lakers started to suck 4 or 5 years ago, and the Clippers were good with Chris Paul and Lob City and all that stuff, I have friends that jumped shit, and I was like, I can't do that. I was taught at a young age. I was like,
this is my team.
If your team is going down, you're going down with your team. But that's different than the player. There are players that I admire.
Right.
But for me, I always think of myself first as a Lakers fan, and then second as a fan of
somebody
players. But then, you get into that debate and that's
what I said. It comes opinionated when you do certain things like that. Like you can have like I like LeBron, but I won't say that he's my favorite player or something like that. It could be talked about as in like, why do I like Zach LaVine over LeBron and situations like that. He's playing in Chicago. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, and he's really playing well. Yeah. It's just that the Bulls don't have all the pieces. That's it. Yeah. I feel like that they could be a good organization if they really go out and get somebody, but it's like they're okay with being mediocre, and that's reverts back to the player concept. Like you said, a lot of guys are okay with being mediocre. Yeah. Once you step out of your comfort zone, you know what I'm saying, you get to really see things in a different way. Like, and for another thing, I wanted to tell you, like, Kevin Durant is another good dude because he always, like, when he talks and goes to interviews, I watch him, you know what I'm saying, and he always used to say this one saying that, how's it go? It's talent. No, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Yeah. And you can have LeBron all day, but if he come to the gym and just shoot jumpers on you, I'm going to live with it. I'm not saying that LeBron can't shoot, but what I'm saying is that if you're not going to give me your best ability, I'm going to take advantage of you.
If I were playing LeBron one-on-one, I'd rather he were shooting
instead of driving
at me. Yeah, no, thank you very much.
That's exactly what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Well, and that goes back to defense as well, right? I mean, the whole age-old thing, and I grew up playing more baseball than basketball, but in sports, defense never takes a night off, right? Some nights when you're shooting, your shoot isn't going in, right? Your shot isn't going in. And so there's nothing you can do. Maybe you're 5 from 20 out there or whatever. But defense is all about effort. And you try. Yeah. Defense never takes a night off, right? So that's one of the reasons why, and LeBron is a perfect example of that, man. Yeah. Last year on the Lakers, it looked like we were taking a lot of nights off. Yeah. We just, you know what? We threw in January, you know what? We're not going anywhere. It is what it is. All of a sudden, look who's revamped. And don't get me wrong. I mean, as a Lakers fan, I'm glad that we're revamped. But it's very obvious the effort level of last year versus this year. Yeah. So.
And the funny thing about last year versus this year, they had another good club. The Lakers was another good team last year. He had a lot of the young guys with him. Yeah. But I feel like that if you would have got those young guys to where they needed to be, they would have been just fine. That's just like a point guard. You have to lead your team. Like me, I had trouble with it. I'm not going to say that it was easy, but in the beginning, I was trying to figure out what gets my team going. And I figured out that it's the momentum plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody has to dunk on somebody or somebody has to get an outlet for us to get just fired up. And on Saturday, somebody got us fired up, and it just happened.
You guys went on a run after that chase down block that I was talking about before. Yeah. All of a sudden, the next couple of times down, you guys weren't settling for contested jump shots. You were taking it to the hoop. So, all right. So again, back to the more fandom and I'm trying to make this some sort of a business.
Okay,
So when you talk to your friends about sports, do you guys talk about kind of like what you were saying? Do you talk about the players that you are most drawn to and that you're fans of? Or do your friends say like, no, I'm a Heat fan because I'm from Miami, or I'm a Thunder fan because I'm from the, the Midwest or whatever? Or do you guys more focus on, and I think where I'm going with this is it's more of a generational thing. It's just my theory. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Are you guys talking about the players that you're following more so than the teams?
See, like growing up with me, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me first. Growing up, I watched basketball and like learning how to play basketball was so fun, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just an artwork to me, you know, and I wanted to study. I studied the game basically. I didn't let the game play me at all, never. So what that is, I got educated on basketball in general throughout the years, of course. Even when my dad and them was like you said, if I was 40 right now, even when my dad and them was playing and this and that and this and that, I just studied basketball. Like when I was I can remember when I was 10 or 9 years old and I would go to the park with my dad and them and he would make me play. It's grown men out here and I have to play.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, no, you're not playing, you this and that and this and that.
They weren't soft on you.
They would pick me up and put me in the fire. So going back to what you were saying, when I talk to my guys and this and that, we all talk from a logic standpoint. We got our opinions on what we think should happen and how we think we should feel about a certain person, but we also got to be real with each other at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like when an argument goes left, as in my favorite player is better than your favorite player, you have to look at numbers now because numbers don't lie. They don't at all. Numbers don't lie. So with that being said, after we talk about numbers, it's go back to the team that they played on and this and that and this and that. Now, this is what's being said, that Kevin Durant jumped on Golden State's bandwagon and this and that and this and that. But my example is this, is that if you got a program offering you this and this, and no matter who's on the team, would you not take it? You know what I'm saying? Even though certain people said that they got their own outlook of it and this and that and this and that. But when LeBron joined Miami in 2014, what was the problem? Nobody said anything about that. Dwayne Wade was already good. Those are questions that's still unanswerable.
Man, we've been forming super teams in basketball for decades now, right? I mean, Kobe couldn't get it done after Shaq left, so in comes Pau Gasol. Oh yeah, Pau Gasol was a top 5 player back then, right? What happened with the Celtics the one year that they won? Oh yeah, Ray Allen, KG, and I mean, come on, we've been building super teams forever. The Warriors are an example of it. No, this is this is sports, right? If you want to win a championship, if you're dedicated to it, you got to get guys, you got to spend money, right? And you got to outmaneuver the other. Because if the other team isn't going to go out and try and get better, get Kevin Durant, then, you know, you got the leg up on them. So exactly. I actually didn't.
Exactly, and that's
all blame him at all. I thought he was going to better himself.
That's all I wanted people to understand. Is that decision wasn't necessarily a bandwagon. Yes, don't get me wrong. Golden State did beat Oklahoma the year before that in the playoffs. But what I'm saying is that prior to that, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Durant is a basketball player. Like I feel like he doesn't make decisions off of money or this and that and this and that. He plays basketball, and that's where a lot of kids go wrong at when they see. Or when they argue with each other back and forth about guys doing this about a super team and doing that about a super team. I say this the same thing. Kevin Durant is a basketball player. LeBron is a basketball player. They did these things to make history. You know what I'm saying? Like, do things other than just be in the league. Like, unlike Carmelo Anthony. I'm not going to say he's a bum or a scrub or nothing like that because he chose to settle. Like, he could have left New York a long time ago and somebody would have offered him that money to come win a championship. Like, I think that in my right mind that if Carmelo would have went to the Golden State and the time that KD would have went, they would have won a championship still because you still had a good team on Golden State. All he would have did was have to come make shots, and that's what Kevin Durant did.
Sure.
He came and made shots. That's it. And made his mark. That's it. He noticed, he made a statement on the league, and everybody had to watch out for Golden State. That's what it was.
Yeah. It's easy to hate on Golden State because of the super team and all that stuff, but let's not forget how magical those years were when they were winning and how fun they were to watch. I mean, this is a team full of superstars, and what do you see out there? Ball movement, passing, love for the game and for your teammates. And so I don't know. I don't care how many stars are on the team so long as they play the right way.
That's why I said that even though that they had a super team, they wasn't unbeatable.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland beat them. And Cleveland didn't have a bunch of superstars. So what was the excuse then? So I don't get the
Prime
arguments,
LeBron,
right? I don't get the argument. Like LeBron was a maniac when he played, and then you had Kyrie Irving. There's no answer for him. It's not no answer for him. So those guys had locked in, and then they had other guys like role players who stepped up and made shots, such as J.R. Smith. You know, people like that. Kevin Love. And Kevin Love used to be really dominant in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So it's people like that that made an impact on the finals.
Sure.
But I feel like that certain situations went left and went right because certain guys wait to a certain point in their career where they play hard and where they take games off. I feel like if you start to finish the same way, you'll have a better outcome. You can't play from December to April, All-Star game is time, to the hard way and then take the rest of it off. So now for the offseason, what you have to look forward to, your stats dropped, percentages went down, and now these rookies coming in with fresh legs and this and that. So now it's nothing. It's move you and let's get this guy this $1 million and help him work his game up. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So with the whole super team, this and that, I don't argue about that because it's always going to be opinionated. Like everybody has their own outlook about what Kevin Durant did and what LeBron did and this and that and this and that. But at the end of the day, you got to just look at statistics. Like I said, the numbers don't lie. They got beat in the NBA Finals. So it wasn't like they just won 6 championships straight. Yeah. They got beat. Yeah. And I feel like if LeBron would have stayed whole and got them a couple more guys, such as such as Victor Oladipo. I say put Victor Oladipo in Cleveland. And they would have had a good run. The finals would have been way more exciting than what it was. So they kept the role players and played through Kyrie and LeBron and Kevin Love, and they won. So it's like, after that, what do you expect? You expect these guys to go to say Warriors to come in here and lay an egg again? No, they're coming back for vengeance. They're coming back ref form. Like, you have to go get guys that's gonna work hard just twice as they is. Cause I promise you, you can go to their arena right now and those guys are probably shooting.
They're right now. They're shooting right now. I mean, if that were me and that were my job, I'd be there shooting.
That's all you gotta do. Yeah. They paying you to shoot it. Yeah. So shoot it.
So let me ask you. Again, trying to steer this back to the business. We keep on going on these tangents as sports fans, which is awesome. LeBron is at year 17. KD's getting a little bit older. Yeah. Some of these guys are starting to possibly see the twilight of their career. But there's a lot of young talent out there. Yeah. Who is it that you're following that is, first, second, third year player that you see could, after KD has moved on in a few years, 5 years, whatever it is, who do we latch on to next? Is it a Zion? I love the way Zion plays. Is it Jason Tatum? As a Lakers fan, it's hard for me to say that name. But which of these guys do you see as someone to be loyal to in the future because they do it the right way?
I really, like you said, I really like Jason Tatum. Like, I really do. He's a great basketball player too. I haven't followed him much off the court, but I know that he's a great basketball player. He's a good dude. Like, I watched a couple interviews, but I haven't followed him as much. But I really see him in a couple years being like a big player in the NBA. He's already kind of a big player in the NBA because his footwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that stands out about the guy. The guy can get his shot off. Yeah. And he will hit it. Like, so he's going to be definitely a threat for the future down the line. And I really like Brandon Ingram, too. I really love Brandon Ingram. Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of have this love-hate thing now that he's not on the Lakers and he's killing it right now in New Orleans. And I feel like that could have been our destiny as Lakers fans, but we were impatient or whatever it was that was holding him back. He looks so good now.
Yeah, I promise you. I told my coach this because my coach, Coach Ramirez, he's a diehard Lakers fan. You know what I'm saying? I told him that if they would have kept Brandon Ingram and let Kyle Kuzma go, I would have been so much happier for the Lakers because you get more out of Brandon Ingram. He's not gonna allow someone to overplay him or do this and that. He's really like a guy who's trying to be somebody. Like, so with Brandon Ingram, I just wanna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to watch him. He's amazing. Like, for his role and what he's doing for the Pelicans, I like him. Like, he's really outstanding. He is. And I like Lonzo Ball too.
Yeah.
We talk about him a lot in my house, or amongst my teammates. Lonzo Ball is like a good dude, you know what I'm saying? Like I watched him in high school when he was playing at Chino Hills, him and his brothers.
Yeah.
But then they got a story to tell, you know what I'm saying? Like people hated on them for what? All they did was go to the same high school.
Yeah.
And these are things that we could talk about for years. Like
you know, I think the reason they didn't like him is because of the dad LeVar is he's a type, right?
Okay,
he's a type of person that some people don't like because he's loud and he's outspoken. But you know what? Take him away. Lonzo, in my opinion, has been nothing but professional, and he plays his heart out every game that he's out there. And I miss him as well. But you know, I guess I'm happy that AD is now on the Lakers.
That's a good thing that happened to the Lakers too. Anthony Davis is a great guy. You know, he's from Chicago too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, because he had those comments recently. And people were like, "Oh, is he gonna sign with Chicago in the offseason?"
No,
I'm thinking like,
listen,
with Boylan and those guys, I'm not
him
sure.
and LeBron is close though. I can see it. Those two dudes are close, man. So.
Yeah.
Even in the summertime, people knew that AD was gonna sign with the Lakers because him and LeBron was always together.
They're
like,
too tight. They're like family, right?
Yeah,
they
was always together. You would see LeBron doing the Taco Tuesday thing, and he'll aim the camera at Anthony Davis like nobody knows who he is, you know. So I kind of knew already that Anthony Davis would go over there, you know what I'm saying, and basically just give himself a chance. That's all he did. He's another top player in the league who just wanted to give himself a chance. Because now the Lakers have a chance to win an NBA Finals again.
I've been loving it. It's been a long time coming as the Lakers.
Yes, and I know that, like you said, LA will be crazy when they win. But now, listen, I know you're a Lakers fan, but we have to talk about the Clippers. We have to because we have to because Kawhi Leonard is a great player also, and Paul George is too. So
I've been watching a lot of the Clippers this year because they're a fun team to watch. And I, again, I'm not rooting for them. But as a basketball fan who enjoys consuming the product, it sure is fun to watch. I just want them to lose every game, but oh well. So what does the future hold for you? You're here at Ventura College. This is your last year? What are you hoping for next year? Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years?
I'm gonna start off with the lowest one. 2 years from now, I want to play Division I basketball. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of good things going for myself, but right now I'm working on not putting so much pressure on myself. Like I'm willing to take everything that anybody throw at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to fight through all the pain. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was growing up, you know what I'm saying, basketball is all I had, like in video games. So I stopped playing a video game as much. So like again, like I said, in 2 years I want to play Division I basketball. Right now I'm really working hard on excelling that goal. 5 years I want to be stable, you know what I'm saying? And not when I say stable, I don't necessarily mean rich. Like I really don't care about being rich. I just want to be wealthy enough or in a better position to take care of my family or to have a kid or to, you know what I'm saying, to just have fun with life while I'm still young. Because I don't want to get old and be like, I should have taken school serious or something like that. So right now I just do it just because. So even if I don't excel, I could tell myself that I tried, you know what I'm saying? I did it the right way. I didn't not go to school. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, do stuff. I didn't cheat around the process. I worked hard at everything that was through at me. So right now I just, you know what I'm saying, like I got my head focused on and I'm in tunnel vision, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm focused on this season that I'm going through. But also my end goal is just to like give myself a chance, opportunity, because that's what was promised to me when I came here. My coach said that it's wide open. The opportunity is yours, you know what I'm saying? And I thought about it while I was on a plane, the 4 hour long flight. And I thought about it to myself like, this is a big risk. Like I was 18, I just graduated high school. I didn't really know how to take care of myself, but when I got off the plane, I immediately like jumped into another person. Like I had to do certain things. Like I didn't have to come home and know that my clothes was gonna be washed. I had to wash my clothes, you know what I'm saying? I had to cook. I had to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting used to being me, you know what I'm saying, being a man, like, and I thank my coaches because they help us every day. Like, even though that this is a JC level, some days I feel like I'm at a university because we're so close together. I'm not saying that we do things that's not right or nothing like that. I'm saying that in our circle and what we got going on, we believe in that family is family and opportunity is always gonna be there. But doors close, so it's what you make out of it that makes you who you are. So with me, I just locked in, like all the way in. Like last year, I was a freshman. I was still running around playing a college life. I was doing this, but now I'm more like settled in. I don't party. I don't do this, and I'm saying this because I really want to make it somewhere. And my mom asked me this the other night, like, do you care about being rich or whatever? I said, nah, because the money can't buy me happiness. I just want to experience life the best way I can.
It's true. Money can't buy you happiness. It's
It
a state
can't.
of mind.
It's actually a problem thing, honestly, because right now my phone doesn't ring that much when my family calls and this and that, like my immediately family and this and that. But let someone tell me that, or let me post that I'm going to the NBA tomorrow. I'll get phone calls from people I don't even know,
Yeah.
saying that, do you remember this or this and that? Like, why does life have to be like that? So with the rich whole thing, or then other than that, I just threw it out the window. You know what I'm saying? I'm just locked in with the goals ahead, like of me that I got right now. The short term goals right now. I see my life in the future, but I'm focused on the short term goals so that I can get to where it is. So that's it. I just basically just, you know what I'm saying, like I'm playing basketball and I'm going to school and I'm working very hard every day just to try to feel the next level. That's it.
Cool.
Just scratch the surface. That's all. So with that being said, like I'm just a worker. You know what I'm saying? And there's nobody that I could believe that outwork me in nothing that I do. Like we could do essays all night, and even if I get stuck, I'll be done before you. Like we could do it. Like I really like competing. Like that's my biggest thing. Like I'm not gonna lose. I'm not. If you beat me, it's got to be you did something. You tricked me or something. You got to trick me or something to beat me. It ain't just I don't lose though, man. And I appreciate the way that I became over the years, because growing up in Chicago is very tough. It is. It's very tough. And I'm just blessed that I made it this far. So I don't necessarily celebrate, but I pat myself on the back because I know that it's some kids back home that's just stuck at what they is. You know what I'm saying? And when I get into a situation to where as I can help people, I will. I will. Even if I don't know them, you know what I'm saying? I will. And that's what I was telling my lady friend yesterday. I have like a sneaker problem, you know what I'm saying? Like I really do. I like shoes. But I told her it don't mean that much to me. Like if I seen a homeless man and he needed shoes, I would give him the ones that I had on because I know that I got another pair at the crib. Like I don't know if he has another pair. I don't know if he's eating, you know what I'm saying? But I've learned to become helpful because and have a heart for people, because when I was growing up, it wasn't that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to basically find a way because of my mom had my sisters and this and that and this and that. So I basically just told my mom, don't worry about me. I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that they get what they need. And I made it like that. I made it this far like that, and I'm going to keep going like that. Like, she don't take care of me. She just tell me like, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to live, and that's what I do. And I give it a try. Like when coach never tell me this is how he wants something done, this is how I do it, because my way didn't work growing up. You know what I'm saying? I was getting in trouble. My way just didn't work. My way just didn't work. So I'm giving myself a right opportunity at life without thinking about the NBA or being rich or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. I just want to get into a state whereas I could provide for others, like to be a helping hand. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be none of that because it brings too much attention and problems. I like to be quiet, you know what I'm saying? Observe people. Like if we was to go to a professional meeting, I wouldn't want to be known more than you. Like I would want you to have all the people, at me to just be like the back guy who make the decisions and this and that. Like, yeah, we should do this, or yeah, we should send this to this person, or yeah, we should get 150 book bags to the kids in this country for this and that, like that. I want to be that type of guy. I don't want to be on the scene and all on the internet and this and that. I just don't want to be that dude. Like, I want to be somebody who give back. Just a big heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I want to be known for. I don't want to be rich. I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that, you know what I'm saying? Because it come with too much. You got to protect yourself all times and never know what people might do to you. Not saying that they won't do it right now, but in 10 years from now, if I do make it to where I need to make it to, who knows who would turn on me, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So you have to watch out for situations and just be aware of everybody. So I just thank my mom every day for, you know what I'm saying, guiding me as much as she did, like, with making it this far, you know what I'm saying? I'm the first one in my family to go to college. And it feel good every day. Like, feel good. Saved up enough money to get me started here. You know what I'm saying? And the people here helped me. They took care of me. Like, I was promised everything that they told me that was written on the paper, and it happened. Like, all I had to do was give myself a chance, and that's what I did. And I'm in a good situation right now. I'm getting recruited by a lot of schools, more than I know. I'm just thankful at this point. And like I said, it's coming to a point of time in my season where I'm gonna have to make a big decision in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say it like I'm scared or nothing, but I just don't know because I haven't been in a situation like this before. You know what I'm saying? I always had to grind and get things the hard way, but now somebody is willing to invest in me. It's like, it's a hard decision to make because I don't want to go nowhere where it's somewhere just about basketball, because here it's not just about basketball. It's about family, brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We look out for one another, and I don't want to just put myself in a situation off of a dream someone sells me or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just look at the bigger picture, and I don't let people just tell me anything. So just for future references for all the younger kids coming up, you know what I'm saying? Just read between the lines and, you know, like, have your eyes open. Yeah, to the world, to the people. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's what I got for it, Professor Nick.
Man, I think your future is bright.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to hear you kind of put into words, a lot of the things that I know you've been thinking and working on lately. So I'm certainly proud of you and looking forward to seeing where you go. And on a lighter note, just as a basketball fan, looking forward to seeing some games. So Ventura College games. Super excited for this regular season to get going. And man, thank you for being my guest.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, though, man. We got to do this more
often. We
got to do this more often, man.
We can.
I feel good.
We will.
Just feel good.
Good luck.
All right.